What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Netflix is continuing its trend of pumping out high-quality, addicting popcorn television series aimed at teen and young adult audiences. Among their popular lineup of shows is the wildly successful Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, a supernatural horror that follows the story of Sabrina Spellman. Originally developed by the CW as a counterpart to their series Riverdale, The Adventures of Sabrina happen in the same storytelling universe. Like Riverdale, the series is based on the Archie comic book series. The series also shares Riverdale's trait of seamlessly transitioning the originally lighthearted source material and taking it down a dark, twisted path. There were plans to have crossovers between the two popular teen dramas that never came to fruition as production changed hands from the CW over to Netflix. Described as a satanic coming-of-age story, writer and developer Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa has successfully managed to rein in both a new wave of hooked fans and fans of other TV series based on the Sabrina comics, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. A popular 90s sitcom, Sabrina the Teenage Witch starred Melissa Joan Hart and was a much more carefree, bubbly, and wholesome take. Aguirre-Sacasa has essentially flipped the script though, turning the horror dial to 11 without losing the character's charms. The show features familiar favorites like Salem the Cat and Aunts Hilda and Zelda as the audience follows Sabrina in her attempt to reconcile her dual nature as a half-witch, half-mortal, battling against the forces of evil. The uber-talented cast includes young beauty Kiernan Shipka as the eponymous lead witch, Ross Lynch as Harvey Kinkle, Lucy Davis as Aunt Hilda, Miranda Otto as Aunt Zelda, and Gavin Leatherwood as Nick Scratch. The show introduces new and enticing characters such as Ambrose Spellman, Sabrina's pansexual warlock cousin, portrayed by Chance Perdomo, Roz Walker, as portrayed by Jazz Sinclair, and actress Tati Gabrielle as Prudence Blackwood. The cast, together with an inspired producer in Aguirre-Sacasa, have come together to craft a show that is both unique and addicting as hell, pun intended. As with any big-time television or movie production, the studio often enforces rules for the actors to follow to protect their intellectual property and image. The production teams at Warner Bros. Television and Netflix have gone to great lengths to ensure that everything continues to run smoothly for the Vogue teen horror drama. In this episode, we're going to be discussing some of the strict rules that the cast of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina must follow. In this age of internet, digital cloud storage, and hackers, protecting against leaks has become a top priority for any major production company in either the film or television industries. We've all heard the stories of studios going to great lengths to ensure that their scripts and plot points don't get leaked to the world wide web of spoilers. Warner Bros. Television and Netflix are no different, going above and beyond to secure their stories as if they were top-secret government files. One of the measures Netflix in particular has taken with its actors is to password protect all of the screeners that are provided to the actors. This way, should a leak occur, it can be traced back to whichever actor spilled the beans. This course of action places the onus on the actors to be extra cautious when handling their scripts. Providing leaks to the internet could jeopardize their jobs. Another thing actors have to be careful of is accidentally revealing too many details in their interviews. Every show cycle has a period with a ton of media exposure, where actors are constantly being bombarded by reporters hurling biting questions in an attempt to get the inside scoop on the upcoming season. It can be a nerve-wracking process, as many contracts include media requirements, and reporters often have no regard for whether or not the answers they seek could put the actors at risk. To help combat this, Netflix often provides actors with a spreadsheet of details they're allowed to talk about and things they should avoid. While that probably provides some relief to the cast, they still have to walk on eggshells in their public lives online. Social media has been a major culprit in plot leaks in recent years, prompting many studios like Warner Bros. And Netflix to issue constant reminders that their stars have to remain diligent and thoughtful about what they're posting on social media. Some producers are so strict that they don't allow personal electronic devices such as cell phones on set or in the script conference room. This fits right into the world of Sabrina, however, as the show is all but devoid of technology, despite the story happening in the modern era. Another common requirement for contracted actors includes maintaining certain appearances and coming to set prepared to start immediately. Because so much of the series scenes occur at night, the production has a rather crazy schedule, Lead actress Kiernan Shipka stated in a 2018 interview with Build series that often they'd arrive on set at 4 p.m. and continue filming until sunrise. On top of that, they filmed 5 days a week, sometimes even 6. With such a rigorous schedule, the actors needed to arrive ready to go to avoid production delays. For example, many actors like to have their own makeup artists, but Netflix requires their actors to arrive on set with a freshly scrubbed face, ready for makeup. With such an odd timetable, it was of the utmost importance for the actors to avoid scheduling conflicts. Another concern was whether or not the mostly young cast would be responsible enough to show up well rested, but we'll touch on that idea in a bit. As with many contracts, the cast of Sabrina is also very restricted in any changes they make to their appearance. Because the set designs are so stylized, actors have to get permission from producers before making any changes to their looks, such as a haircut or a new piercing. Back to the idea now about concerns over a young cast. The overwhelming majority of the actors on the show are under the age of 30. Gavin Leatherwood is 25, Toddy Gabrielle is 24, Jazz Sinclair is 25, Chance Perdomo is 23, Ross Lynch is 24, and rounding out the youngest actor is none other than the lead actress Kiernan Shipka at the ripe old age of 20. While they're a bit past the concerns raised by child actors, having such a relatively young cast presents unique concerns to the production company. Perhaps at odds with what fans might desire, the actors are heavily discouraged from dating one another. Obviously, this is not a contractual obligation, but more of a general taboo. Maintaining professionalism is incredibly important to keeping large productions running smoothly, and oftentimes workplace relationships can lead to on-set or backstage drama that interferes with the proceedings. Though the studio can't dictate the offset lives of their actors, they do take certain measures to try and influence their stars to be positive role models and maintain a relatively likable and uncontroversial public persona. Nothing can derail a production quite like a real-life scandal, which ties right into the next unwritten rule for the cast. Drinking and drug use is rampant in Hollywood, especially among the rich and famous. Being such, having actors under the influence is a major concern for studios, especially ones working with a younger cast, such as the cast of Sabrina. Because of this, Warner Brothers and Netflix have implemented various methods to protect their actors and provide them with resources to avoid trouble. Often, studios will provide counseling should an actor find themselves mixed up in addiction, and sometimes even provide cab services to avoid instances of drunk driving. Again, it's worth mentioning that this particular show runs on a very strange schedule, where filming starts in the evening and goes all night. This can be especially appealing for a young actor who loves to party, thinking that they can party after shooting and sleep until it's time to shoot. However, showing up on set with a hangover is never a good idea. Keeping in line with maintaining professionalism, studios do everything they can to maintain the peace. Interfighting between actors, directors, and production staff can put the brakes on what might have been a very successful night of shooting. Because of this, Netflix attempts to foster good working relationships at all times. Bad-mouthing and gossip are expressly frowned upon. The actors are not in high school anymore, but they are still portraying teenagers. Creating teen drama is what the cast of Sabrina does best, but the studio has to remain aware of the potential for some high school drama spilling over once the cameras stop rolling. Things can get tense after a long day of shooting, so oftentimes team building and stress management sessions are incorporated into the productions. Perhaps flown under the radar is a strict no stealing rule enforced on set. This may seem like a no-brainer, but many times actors may be tempted to keep a piece of their costume or snag something small from the set. Many times, it's meant as a token of the hard work they put into bringing a project to life, but other times that souvenir ends up on eBay. The temptation could be particularly strong for the cast of Sabrina, as the show employs many intricate and beautiful set designs with dark, rich, quasi-satanic imagery. Warner Brothers in particular has known to hire outside companies to break down sets once they're not being used, though this is more likely associated with concerns over the set crew rather than the actors. What do you guys think of the restrictions placed on the cast of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina? Do you agree with the lengths the studios go to, or do you think they take it too far? Would you be able to fulfill all of these requirements as an actor? Have you heard of other similar rules that actors have had to follow? What's the craziest one you've heard of? Let us know in the comments. If you liked this video and want to see more content like it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to Movie Race. Click the notification bell to stay up to date on all things film, television, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.